you need is a hook and some scrap yarn. Once you have all of these materials, let's head over to the table and get started. See you soon! So what exactly are turning chains? Turning chains are the chains that are counted as spaces in the beginning of each round. And to show you that kind of turning chain better, we are just going to go ahead and work a couple of rows of double crochets. So go ahead, grab your hook, create a slip knot, and chain an even or an odd number. I'm just going to go ahead, yarn over, and chain 10. Once you've got your 10 foundation chains, go ahead and pause and wait for me, and I will continue explaining what turning chains are in the beginning of row 1. Now that you've got your even amount of chains, or your odd number of chains, you will want to add 3 more chains. So go ahead and yarn over, pull through, there's 1, 2, and 3. And usually in a pattern, a design or a pattern will say to add 3 chains at the end, and the 3 chains act as a spacer for double crochets. Now for single crochets, you would just add 1 chain. For half double crochets, you would add 2 chains. And then for double crochets, you will add 4 chains. And that just makes it so that at the beginning of each round, your double or single or half double crochets are even, and it doesn't look like it's scrunched up. So to begin this first round for our double crochets, we are going to skip the first 3 chains. So 1, 2, and 3. We are just going to yarn over and work into the 4th chain from hook. So go ahead and go through that chain, and you can also go through the back. Pull up a loop. You should have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, and pull through 2. And that's the first double crochet of the round. Now if you pull your little chain out, you can see that because we skipped the 3 chains, some designers will say that count your 3 chains as a stitch. So technically, if we were doing that, these 3 chains would be our first double crochet of the round. So there we go. So go ahead and continue all the way down until you reach the end and you work your last double crochet into that stitch. And for the purpose of this tutorial, we are going to count this first 3 chains as a double crochet. So go ahead and start working your double crochets, and I will meet you back at the end of the round. And you should have a total of 10 plus your 3 at the beginning, which will make it 11. So I'll see you guys in a little bit. So at the end of your row, we are going to add 3 more chains. And like I said before, those 3 chains at the beginning of the round count as a double crochet. So technically, you just made your first double crochet of the round. Now sometimes patterns will say to not count your chain 3 as a stitch. So if that were the case, you wouldn't count it as a stitch, and you would just count your real double crochets that you created in the beginning. And this goes for half double crochets and for doubles. So once you've got your 3, just turn your work. And because we are counting this first chain 3 as a double crochet, we will skip this first stitch and work a double crochet into the second stitch of the round. So go ahead and insert your hook, pull up a loop, and finish that double crochet. Once you've done that, go ahead and work into all of these double stitches until your last real double crochet, and I'll show you what to do with that chain 3 from the previous row. So once you've got that, I'll meet you back and show you what to do. And you should still have a total of 11 plus that chain 3. Now I'll meet you back in a little bit. So at the end of your row, you should still have one more double crochet left. And that is because we are counting this chain 3 right here as a double crochet. So go ahead and yarn over, go into the top of that chain, and I like to work through both the back and the front loop, and that just makes it a little bit more stable. And draw up the loop. So there we go. Go ahead and finish that double crochet, and you still end up with 11 double crochets in total. And that should be the same thing for any swaps or any pattern that you're doing. So once again, just chain 3, turn your work, and then skip that first stitch and work into the second double crochet. So I hope this clears things up a little bit about why we use chains with half doubles and singles and double crochets. And just remember that when you work into the end, that you work into the chain 3 that you did from the previous row. And that will help keep your rows nice and smooth and even. So the standard number of chain spaces that you need for a double crochet is 3, but sometimes crocheters will say to chain 2. And the reason for that is that because the chain 3 makes a little hole, the chain 2 makes the hole a little less. And you can apply the same concept to half double crochets. So, half double crochets say to chain 2, but if you just chain 1 and count that as a half double crochet, or if you turn it around and work into that first stitch with a half double crochet, then you just ignore that chain 1 space. And that prevents holes within your half double crochet row. So that's why some designers like to say chain 1, turn, work into that first stitch, and then completely ignore that chain 1. And you would just work into the half double crochet and treat it as a normal stitch instead of skipping it and working into the chain. And you will still have the same number of chains at the end of your row. So I hope this clears things up a little bit more with how you use turning chains with both the double crochet and the half double crochet. We don't really use double crochets that much, mainly because there aren't that many patterns out there that use the double crochet, and simply because it's a huge stitch and it takes up a lot of yarn. So thank you for watching this video, and I hope to see you all next week. See you soon!